Hey, good morning. What's happening? It is Saturday, July 20th, I think it is. And we're 20 something days into this thing of a 100-day challenge. Yeah, my family, my friends, everybody says, "What the heck were you thinking? You always come up with this stuff." And it's like, yeah, I come up with this stuff. I don't know why. I wanted to create this 100-day challenge so more people would know about the Now Honors and the Power of Pink and what we're doing and what it's all about. And it literally is about empowering women. It's about honoring women from all over the world. And one of those women that we're honoring this year is she is our neon star, I do believe. She is our neon star. We give it, we're in Vegas. We got to have a neon award. What? She is our neon star, my friend, and a host of one of our shows. Connie Breeze is in the house. What's happening, Connie?
Hi. Hi, it's great to see you.
It's
I
great to
was
see you too. You
yeah,
live across the town. We don't see each other.
I know, but remember I've been out of the town because
Oh,
it's
that's
been so
true.
hot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was getting upset for a second there because you and I try to have lunch or something at least once a month and hang out and all that good stuff. And I'm like, where's Connie? What's happening?
I was thinking I was thinking that on my way home. I'm like, I gotta send Teresa a text that just says lunch.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you're back. I'm sure you miss San Diego weather, but I'm glad you're back with us here in Las Vegas. And I got to ask you, you've been in radio for a minute and a half. What got you in the radio, and how do you feel about all the changes with AI and technology? And because you're in your little studio right now, you don't even have to go to the studio anymore, right? So how do you feel about all that?
You know, I got into radio because since I was a little kid, I was singing every song on the radio. And so I went to a broadcasting school and I got in. And yeah, there have been a lot of changes. Initially, I didn't feel really great about it. When you're used to being structured, doing the same thing for 30 years, when somebody just whips change on you, it takes a minute to adjust. But
Yeah.
now I'm really happy. I mean, I'm in my studio slash guest closet and my concern was if I wasn't outwardly motivated, would I come through for these stations and do the work and do it on time? And I learned that, yeah, it's something I love and I can do it and I can do it myself and I can structure my day. And so I'm happy with the changes.
Nice. Okay. Well, I could live with that. She said she's happy with the changes. So, talk about your journey because you work with Motown. You've been here in Las Vegas for at least 20 years doing what you do, and then on top of that, you do live events. How different is it when you're like, okay, I'm going to be on a cruise ship, being an MC on a cruise ship for a major legendary cruise because you just did that, correct?
Yes.
What's
Mhm.
that like?
The
With all these
cruise
legendary artists out there, on a cruise.
it's incredible. I ran an old school station here for nearly 15 years, and I missed the artists. One of the things I found out was that I really love the artists, and I missed them. So when I got asked to go on this cruise, and it's kind of funny because somebody got COVID and they said, "Can you be at the cruise ship in 4 hours?" And I said, "Heck yes, I can." And that was 3 years ago, and I've been in the family ever since. I
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like our next cruise is the Isley Brothers. I'm going to hang out with the Isley Brothers. It's crazy great.
You've hung out with a lot of legends. Can you just name a few of them? I mean, a lot of legends.
Yeah, the OJs. Oh my gosh, so many. The OJs, Color Me Bad. Trying to think of people I had in the studio. Stevie B, the Isley Brothers. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. I just can't wait. One of the things I love is that when you hang out with them, like over the 30 years, it's a continuing conversation. So
Right.
they greet me like family, like, hey, and and the guy that owns a cruise just goes, how do you do that?
Now you said in studio, so now we got to talk about it. The Connie Breeze show is
Yeah,
coming on the Squirrel Network. We've
yeah.
got quite a few episodes in the can, ready to go. You've got more coming up. You've been bringing them virtually into the studio and live in the studio. I know what your show is all about because I'm directing it. But can you share a little bit about what your show's about and why you're doing it?
Yes. The show is interviews with legendary artists, like you just said, the Shy Lights, the incredibly famous and syndicated Greg Mack, D Train, and the list goes on and on. And what I realized was these old school artists are amazing, and they can't understand why nobody will play their new music. It's like the
Mm,
radio will not embrace their new music. And what I found from being on the road with them, Boys to Men, is that they all have stories. And they have stories that are different than the 30 seconds that you get to run through for a meet and greet. They
right.
actually, everybody has something that they've had to overcome and get on stage. And I think it's fascinating. Like, how do you do that?
No, I think it's fascinating as well. And I've been around all these entertainers, including your amazing husband, for years. But, you don't want me singing or playing an instrument. I wasn't really good at that in kindergarten when they gave us a little flute. Yeah, no. But I love music. I love these artists. And when you get a chance to sit down and talk with them, the journeys they've had to go through and the problems they've had. You've heard stories of the buses breaking down and, they're getting there 5 seconds before they got to get on stage and you can't know, or they've got a family crisis going on and they still have to go out there and entertain because the people in the audience, it's not that they don't care. They just don't know. And they just know they've been waiting to see them forever,
Yes. Yeah.
forever. And I think, in my opinion, legendary artists get typecast kind of like actors, like the kid from, Family Matters, Urkel. You see him in anything else, he's still Urkel, and I think that people get that legendary music and they go, oh, yeah, that's nice for the new stuff, but they want to hear those
Yeah.
songs that they grew up with and all of that. How do you control the audience? How do you keep that audience moving? Because I've been in events that you've emceed, and it's like maybe the other artist is not quite ready. Maybe one artist went too long and you got to keep that rhythm going. How do you do that and still keep the peace?
I have no idea. I just know I get on stage and vamp. There's a party over here. How many people are, how many grandmas are here? How many mothers? How many kids? I mean, I had a guy once say, you got to roll, because the band isn't ready. It was Zap, and they're a very big band to set up. And so I was out there for like 20 minutes, you
Just
know,
figuring it out.
just bring up the house lights. Let me see everybody, yeah, just vamping.
Just figuring it out. This week has been very interesting for me because, and a lot of us, you too, because we lost a legend. We lost Lillian
Oh,
this week, and that's been touching us all. But because of Lillian, that's pretty much how I met you.
yeah.
You were in the radio and radio station, and Lillian's like, she called me my Teresa. So Lillian's like, meet my Teresa, blah, blah, blah. And you and I, that's the first time we met was through her. So for me, being able to do this and sit down and talk with you, is amazing because I get to keep it going, keep it moving forward. How important is it to you to pass the torch?
Oh, it's really important. And I read about the loss of Lillian while I was on vacation, and it was just, I mean, I sort of knew it was coming, but it was shocking. And when I was driving home, I was thinking, darn, first of all, she was really nice to me when I was new in town. She embraced me like she'd known me forever when I was in town, when I first came here in 2010. And she's just a gem, just a light, just a wonderful person. So that was shocking. And I just thought about her all the way home, all the incredible things. I mean, she hooked up you and I, and we weren't even the same, radar screen.
Right, right. I was a techie and a producer. I wasn't doing radio at all. I was, behind the scenes, had my hat on backwards, holes in my jeans. Didn't have to worry about it. That's a comfortable place. I might go hide back there for a while, but that's a comfortable place for me. But thanks to her, she introduced me to almost everybody in the industry and around the industry. She would host, events with legendary artists, at some of the casinos, and that's how I met a lot of the local legends here. I met them through Lillian and a couple other people here in the valley, including yourself. And it just blew me away this week. I mean, it's not like it was a surprise it was coming, but that she's not here, it's like I hear her sitting behind me. And then I looked up and I said, "Oh, Connie's on Saturday." Yes, that's awesome because it feels like, somebody from the family, somebody that understands, what's going on right now. And now you're our neon star at the 2024 Now Honors in Power Pink. You were at the Now last year. What was it like? How did you receive it?
Well, I had been in the house for a little too long. I discovered I have to get out and travel and do things rather than just be in this room. And when I went to the Now, it was like, wow, a bunch of women who are supportive. I've never had that. People used to get mad at me because I was doing well with what I did. These women, every single woman I've called has said, heck yeah, come on. I want to help you. I want to restart your engine. I want to reignite you. And that I am so grateful for, because sometimes you need outside input to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to honor you. It's going to be awesome this year just
Uh,
to see that award passed forward to you, and you deserve it. You
Thank you.
deserve it. So I can't wait to share that with you. You're amazing. What message would you give a young person that's coming up that's doing, now they're doing podcasts and they're doing talk shows, and they may not even be thinking about radio, but radio is still strong and still going.
Mhm.
What message would you share to a young person who's thinking about going into this field?
I would say the jobs are still out there. Like, if you're willing to move, the jobs are still out there. And the thing is, these program directors have people coming at them from all sides. So you need to stand out, be unique. I mean, I used to send the craziest gifts to my program director because they have a hard time picking up the phone. They're just so busy. They're doing 3 jobs now. So stay with it, send something that's uniquely you, and then let them get back to you. Sometimes it'll be like a month and you'll go, okay, nothing's happening. And then your phone rings. It can change with one phone call.
Well, I'm so proud to have you as a member of our family for the Squirrel Network. I can't wait for your show to debut because your show is one of the premier shows on the network. When we launch this thing, they'll be able to see the Connie Breeze show. I'm super excited about that. I love sharing stages with you. We've got amazing events coming up. Speaking of legendary artists, that people are going
Yeah.
to be blown away when they see what we do in 2025. And I just want to thank you for hanging out for a few minutes with me today.
Thank you so much, Teresa, for bringing me into the family. And you are carrying the torch for Lillian.
Thank you so much. You're the absolute best. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I want you to come back next time. I love hanging out with Connie. If you want to know more about the Now Honors and the Power of Pink, you know what to do. Go to nowhonors.com and get your tickets. If you haven't gotten them already, you might want to do that because we're starting to sell out. Also, the event is October 3rd through the 5th right here in Las Vegas at the Palms Hotel and Casino and Brendan Theater. Make sure you check that out. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.